Good morning, Coolest Coast. It is time for coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts, Kristin Odell, and I'm Tina Prigge. So good to see you, everyone. So good to see you, Kristin.
Good morning. Hey, before we just jump into all the fun things we have to talk about today,
Mhm.
can we just give an absolute huge shout out to everybody that joined us last week?
Yes, yes.
I
Huge shout
was
out.
I was so in awe of the comments and just so you guys know, I don't ever go and look at how many people viewed or how many people comment. I love just talking with Tina, so that's my goal for the week is to be able to just have an awesome conversation. But last week I did go back and I read comments and just, oh my gosh, it was incredible.
And it was incredible just to feel connected with each one of those people too, right? To know that we were having this sort of broader conversation that, crossed the expanse of states even.
Right. And I just think for you too, there were so many cool posts about Tina, I don't know you, but we're praying for you and cheering you on and just all these encouraging words. And that is so cool.
Thank you. Speaking of encouraging, my cousin Lori has been a huge cheerleader, lifting me up. And she asked if she could FaceTime me the other day. She's like, Tina, I have to show you my new t shirt. And this is it. She said, I thought I could get one more use of it before it has to go in the wash.
I love it. That's so
But
cute.
I just thought that was so sweet to be thinking. And,
Isn't it funny, those little notes, how meaningful they are?
yeah, those little touch points and uplifting another person is such a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this on the show, but if somebody pops in my head, I really try hard to just shoot them a text and say, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we haven't even talked in a while, but you popped in my brain today. And so I'm sending you a note.
I
And I,
feel like there's a reason for that, and I feel like that's a really good practice, Kristin, and all of us should do that. Good morning, Mary.
good morning, Mary.
Good
Yeah.
morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Mama. Yeah. I feel I've had people say to me, oh, I thought about it too. Or, oh, I was having a tough morning and your note made a difference. Or just oh, it was so good to hear from you. It's a really cool thing to check in with somebody.
Just yesterday, I was doing a little workout by my bookshelf, right? I had my phone on the bookshelf so I could follow the video. And while I was doing it, I was looking at some of the books, and I have a small collection of my favorite author, Tom Robbins. And so often I don't even pay attention to it, right? I've already read the books, love the books, have this collection. But yesterday I stopped and I was just really looking at them and thinking about what a true artist he is, how he plays with language. Finished my workout, went to take a shower, and Jason came in. He's like, Tina, did you hear the news? Tom Robbins died. And I was just like, what? I immediately burst into tears. Now, he was 92, lived a full life, nothing tragic, right? But still, just that sense of loss when you lose somebody that you respect.
Oh.
And it just highlights what you were saying, Kristin, right? When you think about something why did he pop in my mind? Why did I suddenly focus on those books and think deeply about them?
That is so, I mean, again, just further proof that we're all spiritually connected in one way or another, right? Wow, that is so cool.
Mary said, you are a rock star, Tina. By the way, my mom said to let you know that she's always praying for you and Jason. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. I love it. Are there any titles of Robin's books that our fans might enjoy reading, or maybe if they're not familiar with the author's name, with the book's title?
Okay, so I do think he is probably an acquired taste. Not everyone that picked up one of his books will necessarily enjoy it, but he was known as sort of a philosopher and a lingual prankster, right? He would play with language and have fun. My favorite that I've read a number of times is Another Roadside Attraction. A
Okay.
lot of a lot of people know Jitterbug Perfume, or a movie was even made about Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. Now, Even
Okay.
Cowgirls Get the Blues wasn't my favorite, so I didn't but
Okay. So there you go, friends. If you're looking for something maybe interesting, good morning, Tom. If you're looking for something interesting, you got a couple of new book titles to try.
yeah, one thing that I appreciated about Tom Robbins is the way he played with language. I read an article that he had written, and he said when he writes a book, he will noodle on a sentence until he feels like it's perfect and finessed. Then he will move on and never revisit that sentence.
Mm,
That's That's a crazy, incredible way to write that. Like, I can't get my mind around that.
Right. Cause I mean, I know a lot of people like they'll sit down and key stuff and like get their main ideas together. Oh, good morning. Tara.
Thank you. That's such a beautiful message.
Tara is my cousin-in-law. That's what we call her. I love
Hey, so the reason I had this Tom Robbins epiphany yesterday is I was working out. So that's something that's been on my mind, right? Right now I'm confined to a wheelchair and I do physical therapy, but I also thought about like cardio and also how much I love doing yoga and stretching, which isn't really part of the physical therapy workout that I have.
Mm.
And somebody said something that triggered like, oh, there are definitely other people in my situation. There must be some sort of YouTube videos or content helping people do this, right? So I Googled wheelchair cardio and I found a number of options, but I found a guy that I really enjoy because he's just got this great energy. And I just wanted to share a clip because not only does it make it fun and it makes me look forward to working out, which that was never the case before, right? But I know I have to move and get my heart rate up in this chair. But I thought, even if there's others that are in a similar situation or people that have had a hip replacement, people that just don't feel comfortable or stable standing and doing a workout, I wanted to share this because maybe it would benefit you too. I'm just going to share a quick second because he's so fun. So just check this out with me for a quick second here.
Well, a new day is here, and I'm going to do what I call a wheelchair express. It's going to be about 10 minutes long, not very long, but it works. So let's begin by pumping our arms. Yes.
Yes.
Good day to you again. Give me 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Now bring our arms down. Let's inhale up. Exhale out. Yes. Inhale up.
Isn't his energy fantastic? Oh, let's see. Isn't his
I
energy fantastic?
can totally see why you love it. It makes me smile. His energy totally makes me smile. I want to know how many people watching just did those exercises wherever they're watching from.
That's a great question because seeing you do it along too made me realize we could actually be doing that right now.
Do you know how many people sit in a desk chair all day long and could do this at their desk at lunch for 10 minutes and how much better they would feel?
Yeah, honestly, I thought about that too. When I worked in an office, I wish I had known about these exercises.
I love that you Googled it, first of all. I like sometimes I think these things come up and we're like, duh, why didn't we YouTube this?
Right. How is that not the first thing I thought to do? But right, it took a while.
Why doesn't this come to mind? A, and then B, I just love that you have options that you feel so good about and that like it will make you stronger.
Thank you. It did. It makes me feel better after I do it. And I also Googled wheelchair yoga and I was kind of like, come on, like that can't be a thing. But it's all about like the stretching and the twisting and so it's moving my body in ways that I don't often get to in my chair. And combined, it's great.
Well, and I know just even from like women's summits in the past where we have had women of all shapes and sizes and ages that our yoga practitioners make accommodations so that somebody can do it seated or do it sitting on the floor, right? And what a cool thing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But Kristen, it is you who I am proud of today. Not just today, I'm proud of you every day, but especially today. You have proved that you are the true GOAT, the greatest of all time. I woke up and your amazing husband, Doug, shared a video with me and it just blew me away. I'm gonna play it. Then let's talk about it and then we'll play it again because viewers, tell me if this does not just make you gobsmacked. This is our very own Chris.
Go!
Kristen, OMG, tell us what we just saw. You are incredible.
Oh, he's such a stinker. You guys, I wanted that video from Doug this morning, and little did I know that he was sending it to this sass over here instead of sending it to me. So that was my workout this morning. We did what we call max outs, which mean we push it to see how far we can go. And that was 280 pounds. And it was a record for me. I broke my prior record by 15 pounds, which is insane. And it was a super, super good morning.
Oh my God, you did that just this morning. And here you are? Like you're not broken, you're not crying in a corner. Like
No. And I should have maybe kept going. I had some in the tank yet, but I'm also really working on bracing and making sure that all the things are in the right place. But I've got my eyes on 300 now after today.
oh my God, you could lift me up, that means. So Kristin, what was going through your mind? What is your headspace as you approach that bar with the weights on it? What did you have to think through in order to be able to personally do that? A new personal record.
So I mean, for me, really, so I have just been taking a lot of coaching from Matt DeMarco over the last couple of weeks to get ready for that. So this is one of those things about lifting. I always do my first rep and then I come up, and then when I go down, my second one is always like clean and nice and better. And I knew with max outs coming up, I have to get it in one lift. Like I can't take that second rep. Like you have to get it on the first shot. And so he's just really been working with me on my setup. So you could see there, you maybe can't see in the quality of the video, but my eyes are closed. I am like deep breathing, and every muscle that I can contract intentionally in my body is contracted. Shoulders, everything in my back, my core, my legs, my butt cheeks. My butt cheeks are like slammed together. That's like a good lift just for insiders. So just am really focused on making sure that my body is ready to do that. And it felt freaking awesome today. It was really good.
So how did you know how long to hold it?
Well, you just have to get, basically upright. So you just need to kind of get into that up position. And if you get all the way up and you're firm in that position, then you can let it go. So,
what we don't see in the video is what happened after you set it down. What was that moment like? Was it a cheer? Did you like fall on the ground? Did Doug run over and hug you? I think I can hear him cheering you on in the background.
Yeah, so Doug was cheering. I mean, there was probably 8 or 10 people at the gym today at that point. Like, so people are doing this, right? Because it's max out. So people are doing this across the gym. So we're like cheering and encouraging each other on. So they were cheering for me. Doug came over and gave me a big high five. Matt DeMarco came over and gave me a high five. And like, that's still pretty fast. I didn't have to struggle a whole lot with that. So Matt was like, let's put 290 on. Let's put 290 on. And I'm like, that felt really good. And I'm so excited. So I made a decision to stop. Also because we were getting up towards time. It was almost 7 o'clock. So, but it's just,
I'm just blown away that you're here after doing that.
But here's what you guys don't see. In the last probably 8 to 12 weeks, we've been training on those deadlifts, and I've been doing sets of 6 and 8. Well over 200 pounds doing reps and reps and reps. And you don't get to see that work happening behind the scenes. So, yes, it looks easy and it's a huge accomplishment, but there's a ton of heavy, heavy lifting behind that. So really the first thing I do is I breathe a fresh air. And the next thing I do is I have a lifting belt on. So I rip that off because that is holding everything together. I get that off, but it was a very celebratory morning. But I mean, the other thing that you guys have to know, people ask me all the time, how do you stay strong, or how do you get everything done that you get done in a day? That's where it starts every day for me, or not every day, but many days. I care for myself first. I put that time in. That time's just for me. That's not for anybody else. That's for me. And when I start my day like that, pouring out to people the rest of the day is super easy.
God, that's such good advice, Kristin. I love hearing that you have that self-care. That's how you start your day, and that it's beneficial, and you recognize that.
Absolutely. And the other thing, because I see a lot of ladies' names here, as we age, 35 plus, weightlifting like that is extremely important for bone density and maintaining lean muscle mass.
Nice. And we should point out, you didn't just walk up to the bar today and pick up the 280 pounds. You have
Right.
been building up to that over time.
Absolutely. Doug and I talked on the way home. So Mary, I saw you ask what gym is that. So I work out at CrossFit Manitowoc. We do obviously a lot of conditioning and other things, but Olympic lifting is part of our workout there. So shout out to Matt DeMarco and my friends at CrossFit. Woo woo.
So now that we know this backstory, now that we know kind of your headspace and all of your muscles contracted in your body and all of that, let's watch this video one more time. Just deep appreciation, Kristin. Congratulations.
Go!
What do you think when you watch that? Can you believe that's you?
I'm getting heart palpitations again because it was so exciting. Like it's like the best adrenaline rush and like dopamine hit ever. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Come join me. If you want to do it, you can do a free workout at CrossFit, 6 a.m. I'll be there.
You know, Andrew Dunbar said, I found a community of truck driver stretches for people that are in the car a lot to help prevent blood clots. Very helpful. Thanks for giving me the idea to look into this. Oh, that's awesome. Right. Any kind of sedentary, job like that, there are ways to stay healthy.
There is. And by the way, like, again, I just want to point out, I started when we had little kids. I started out with doing water aerobics at the Y and yoga because that is what I was capable of. And that is like 9 years ago. That's where I started. And I just slowly added weights and classes, right? And then 5 years ago, I made the leap to CrossFit and like, I'm going to do this. And then now, you just keep going. And like my friend Coley today lifted 345 pounds. So like there's other inspirations there. And yeah, Doug is absolutely my biggest cheerleader, 100%.
Yeah. Doug, thank you for sharing that video. Thank you for making us aware of the personal record that Kristin achieved today. Kristin, you are the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Thanks. So get out there and do something today, even a 5-minute walk or a 5-minute roll.
And I like what you said too. Start where you are. So, maybe you're down on the spectrum where I am, right? In a chair, or maybe you're lifting 280 pounds like Kristin, or somewhere in between. Whatever works for you is where you should start. Mm-hmm. And what we've learned is there are all sorts of resources, whether it's going to a gym, whether it's finding something on YouTube. Do what you can where you are, and you'll just grow from there.
Absolutely. And something, 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there. Good morning, Brian. Those things add up. Those minutes add up. That time adds up. And pretty soon you're like, whoa, what did I just do?
Right. And it's funny, like, so going back to the Paul Eugene video that I shared, right? You see him just at first, like, pumping his arms. And again, I was like, but really all of that movement, like you said, adds up. And if you do it, it compounds.
Yeah. And not only that, but like your heart rate gets up when you do stuff like that, right?
Right.
Can we just also really quick shout out, how important is that badass AC/DC music playing in the background? That has to help, right?
Wow, I had not been able to identify the music. Nice job, Kristin.
I think it's AC/DC. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody tell me. The music motivates me, but I did not know that was playing when I was doing that. So I was clearly in the zone, but good music helps, friends.
I think it does, right? Like the soundtrack to life can make a difference.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Look at you.
Yeah, if you'd been like listening to Sarah McLachlan or something trying to lift that, I just don't think that would have.
Don't you just think of like sad little puppies in those commercials for isn't that?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not going to be very motivating for your workout.
Hey, so we are currently under a blanket of snow with lots more snow coming. You guys got out and enjoyed it, and you prepared a fun little game for us. Identify that track, right? So if I show a picture, tell us about this first, and then let's see if we can identify.
Okay, so Sunday, the snow is so pretty, and I feel like we haven't had any. I'm like, we have to go out and hike. And So Doug and I and Grace and Nora got out, and there was all these really fun different tracks at Silver Creek Park. So here's the first one. Anybody want to comment on what they think that is? I feel like this is an easy one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with cross-country skis.
Ding, ding. I mean, I don't actually know. I didn't see people make these tracks, by the way, but we can make Wisconsin, Midwestern-based assumptions, okay? Yeah, cross-country skis. Maybe not so much in this picture, but we could see like I'll do this, the pole marks, you know? So, yes.
I feel like I can kind of see them along. Now, it's interesting. Do you think we're better at this game in the Midwest because we know snow and playing in the snow? Like, do you think if we were doing this in New Orleans, it might be more challenging, or do you think it's obvious enough everyone would know?
I don't know, because maybe people like in the South wouldn't know the things that you could do in the snow. So maybe it would be hard. That's a great question.
All right. So what about this? Let's see. Oh, I think I know what this is too.
Yeah. You've done this before, right?
This is a snowshoe, right?
This is a snowshoe. Yes. We were not actually snowshoeing. As you can see, my family members have boots on, but it was very fluffy snow. So it would have been fun to have snowshoes on that day.
Yeah. Did you ever do the Snowga? Was it Snowga that we were doing at Woodland Dunes?
Tina, you and I met at Snowga.
Okay, but were we on what are these snowshoes? Oh, were we on snowshoes?
Yes. Yes.
I remember it was winter. I remember the yoga stretching, but I just can't remember if there were snowshoes.
Yes. Snowshoe. It was Snowga. Snowshoeing and yoga in the woods.
Thank God your memory's as good as it is.
I know. By the way, if that ever comes up and you want to go, I'll pull you in a sled.
Speaking of,
I'm training to be your sled puller.
Mush. Yeah, if you ever need some ballast weight, let me know. I can sit in a sled.
All right.
So I'm guessing, is that what this is? Is this a sled?
This is a sled. I mean,
one of those.
I'm pretty sure it's a sled.
I'm thinking it's one of those plastic ones, but it also could be a toboggan, maybe. Although I don't know if those are popular anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, usually toboggans have like a two, wood piece like track that all the wood slats are on. Okay, I think there's one more, right?
Okay, so now this one. Oh, I love this one because you can really see the vista and where you are.
Yeah. So, by the way, let's see if our listeners here can figure out what this is. So, if you have an idea of what this is, drop it in the comments, because this is the one that I caught my eye first, because I was kind of like, what am I looking at? So while you're commenting, friends, this is down at Silver Creek Park, and the ice shoves are so deep there that you can see we're pretty far out from the shore. And, we kind of dug down and it'd be like shells, and then we got down and then it was just solid ice. So obviously you have to be careful, but it's just like a different perspective to be out that far.
So you're out on the lake? This isn't like in the field. This is out. What?
Yeah, this is out on the lake. This is just, if you kind of hike in right by the field house there and you go around the bend and head out that way, we're right out on Lake Michigan there.
Okay, so I was totally stumped. I did not have a guess for this, but Becky says fat bike. Mm-hmm. And Wendy says bicycle fat tire. And I love that. I think that could be true.
So I totally think that's what it is. I think it was a fat tire bike. And you can kind of see like the pedal marks. So the pedals weren't super down in there, but there was this distinct little, pattern kind of along the path. But yeah, it made me kind of stop and be like, well, this is new.
Yeah. Oh, bravo, guys. Great. Yeah.
If Teresa Falvey's still on, I know she has a fat tire bike. Becky Richards, you love biking. Like, have you ever biked in this much snow? Like, I know fat tire bikes can go a lot of places, but this was like a good 6 to 8 inches deep in spots. So like, does that work?
Yeah. And when you're the first one, right? Like, it would be different now to be the next guy pedaling through this track because it's already broken. But if you're the first one cutting across, is that extra hard?
Yeah, I have no idea. Now, again, this snow was a little fluffy, so maybe it was like perfect conditions, but.
So is that like a fat bike dream then? This kind of snow, I wonder?
A fat bike. It's what fat bike dreams are made of.
So, Kristen, on the last storm day, you sent me what you were cooking in your kitchen, and I'm wondering if you're cooking up something like this today too.
This was last Saturday. So this is chicken and wild rice soup. I know. And I've got these new pots. We got new Staub cookware for Christmas, which is very expensive, but it's just awesome. I have no other words for this. So what I actually did this time different is I cooked up my veggies and then I seared chicken thighs with the skin on in the bottom of it and seared them on both sides and then put them all back in with chicken stock. And then I actually baked this in the oven for like an hour and a half. And then I pulled it back out and took the chicken thighs out and got all the meat off and then made the rest of it. It was
Holy smokes, Kristen.
It was so good.
It sounds amazing. So what sets this cookware apart? What do you love about it? What makes it special?
So it's enameled cast iron. So it is very heavy, but it has a coating on the inside. So it's a little bit easier to cook. It is easier to cook with than your traditional cast iron pan. I have some of those too. The other thing is this is supposed to be very clean cookware. So if you think about
like a Teflon or something.
Teflon, yeah, like things where you have those non-stick cooking surfaces, but they like flake off, and you're not supposed to like ingest that stuff. So this is supposed to be super. If you search like healthy cookware, this is supposed to be much healthier. But like, I'm gonna say healthy and hearty because that hit the spot so good.
So you said the cookware is heavy. Now, is that why you're working out like you are?
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't feel heavy to be, but when my mom is over and cooking with me, then she's like, oh my gosh, this weighs a ton.
And so then that wasn't the only one. You also had another one going.
Yes, because we had decided we were going to do grilled cheese, and my girls love tomato soup. So I took a crack at homemade tomato soup, which also turned out really great. And that was easy.
So this didn't have as many steps as the chicken and the veggies.
It wasn't as putzy, but I mean, it's much more simple. You can see that.
And so the pot that you're cooking in on the stove, do you just put that then right in the oven based on the fact that, wow.
Mm-hmm. Or like I have some leftover tomato soup, and I think I'm going to put boneless, skinless chicken breasts like right in this pot, because this pot is like maybe this deep. The other one is really big. The other one's like a 7-quart. But this one, I think I'm going to put chicken breast right in there with some like fresh mozzarella and fresh basil and pop the cover on and just bake it and have like chicken parmesan.
You're so good in the kitchen. I'm inspired.
Thanks.
Yum.
So I want to know what people are eating. Like, what did you guys, we got like 6 or 8 inches of snow. Saturday night, it was just really beautiful. What did you eat? Tina, what did you eat?
For us, Jason made a big pot of chili. Like as soon as the snow started coming down, I was like, chili today? Which I love. And I love chili with, shredded cheese on top and sour cream. It's always gotten to the point that if I don't have sour cream, I won't eat the chili. I think it's more about the sour cream, but
that chili and tacos, I cannot do it without sour cream. I love it so much.
Yeah, and as a kid, I would not have touched sour cream, and now I just love it so much.
It's such a yin to the yang, like having hot soup that is like spicy, or you have veggies in there, and then that just delicious cold creamy sour cream.
Yeah, agreed. Yes. So tell us, what are you eating these days? Looping back to the fat bike conversation, Becky had replied, absolutely not, so hard. And that was in the question was it a fat bike's dream to have that? So
this makes me want to, like, I wish I would have been able to see somebody doing that.
Jenny, fettuccine Alfredo tonight. That sounds lovely.
See, that sounds like a super hearty comfort food for, again, what's supposed to be another super snowy night, 5 to 7 inches, friends, right here in Manitowoc.
Jenny, what do you put anything in your Alfredo? Like, do you do a chicken Alfredo? I really love broccoli in my Alfredo.
Yeah, we do broccoli, and sometimes I'll make pasta for the kids because they love it. But I will actually just do my chicken Alfredo over like a huge bed of broccoli, and it's just as satisfying.
Yeah, and I think the cheesy Alfredo sauce complements the broccoli so well.
It does. It's so yummy.
Yum. Well, Kristin, this has been fantastic as always. Thanks everybody for sharing your comments and hanging out with us this morning over coffee and conversation. Anything you want to say before we sign off, you goat?
Can't believe it's 9:30 already. Where did that
I
time go?
know. I know.
If you guys saw my face, I was like, huh? It's time to be done already? No, I want to keep talking to Tina.
Why is she cutting me off? Hold on, I just want to see. There might be
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Jenny said, oh, Barb.
Ooh, split pea. Ooh, yes. Barb, do you make your own or do you have a secret source that you can share with us?
I love that. Yeah, Jenny said chicken and broccoli and the Alfredo. Well done, Jenny. That sounds delicious.
And Jill said, we've been making chili with TVP, textured vegetable protein. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Jill. Thanks for telling us that.
Nice. See, look
Okay.
at all these options. You guys, we've queued up your dinner menus for tonight. Cozy up at home and pick something.
And you can even work out while you're doing it.
You could. Maybe.
But I think this is a great example, right, about the importance of sharing and inspiring one another, right? Inspiring each other with food, with workout ideas across all kinds of topics.
Just more validation that community and relationships are so important.
Kristin, it's been so wonderful sharing the morning with you.
You too. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay warm.
Stay warm. Thanks for watching this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Kristin Odell, Tina Prigge. We'll see you next time, everyone.